I don't see a red light still. Just waiting for a red light, that's all. No red light? No. Marker! It's a good question, and I think that for me there's four that I'd like to discuss. One of them is the cost. I think that's the most important one, and cost can be broken up into two elements. One, the physical cost of development per hour, as well as two, the cost of finding these resources. The second element that I think is important, especially when hiring a Hulineer, the idea that we focus specifically on video on demand as an industry puts us in a position where we train very specifically to that cause. So what that allows for is access to the right skills fast. The third aspect is the time savings that you can acquire when using outsourced development. And the fourth one, of course, is quality of output. When it comes to providing a very specific example of this, what we've seen, especially in the European context, is that the availability of opportunities for highly skilled engineers is quite vast. And what this allows for is the engineers to be in high demand in those sectors. So we've seen with some of our clients that the challenges that they face is that procurement or searching for talent can take up to 6 months. And with that process underway of recruitment taking 6 months, they have to do searching, onboarding, training, and then what happens is that the resources themselves are actually leaving at roughly the same rate at which they're coming in. So specifically the one client that we've seen, they were onboarding 4 to 6 developers a month, but they were having resignations from 2 to 4 in this, every month as well. And that cycle repeats itself quite a lot. Bringing it back to hooligan development, we've had, I think in the past 3 years, only 2 resignations. So what we have is we have a consistency. Along with the idea that access to opportunities isn't as big for South Africa, for example, as what it is in Europe, we are putting ourselves in a position where we're exposing those opportunities to our engineers. So they're excited to be a part of the team and stay part of that team and consistently give back to that team. And what happens, and the big benefit here comes in with domain knowledge specifically, is that our teams stay in place longer, which gives you consistency, and they learn faster and more about your product. And the longer that they're in place, the more they know about it, the bigger their domain knowledge, the more beneficial they are to your team. It's a take on the idea of video on demand, but rather than video, we put developers on demand. So we can scale up as your product grows and you need more access to more resources, we can scale the resource demand. So I think to answer the question, well, the best way to explain it is the fact that hooligan development specifically and only specialize in one industry, which is video on demand in OTT. We don't render services to mining or banking or insurance or any other industry for that matter. So what this allows for, which benefits the customer the most, is that our training in-house is very specific and consistent. And it also creates quite a nice adaptability for the onboarding of new clients. So when we put together teams to start developing on behalf of our clients, the shift over and the domain knowledge that goes with that team is not different to what they've already done in the past, because that's the only thing that we do. So that's where I think the best and the biggest benefit in this space comes from.